Hello my fellow gamers, GamerDude back once again bringing you some more informative gaming news. But before we begin, y'all know the routine, or at least I hope you do by now. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. It also helps the channel, it adds it to the algorithm and it helps me out. So yeah, please do that. Anyway, today we are talking about one of PlayStation's absolute bangers, and that is the Horizon Zero Dawn franchise. Now, it turns out that the third installment of the game may be coming sooner than expected. That's given as well since the passing of the voice actor for Silence. Rest in peace. Now, if you are a PlayStation gamer, then you have probably played or at least heard of the Horizon games. And if so, I'm pretty sure there is one question on your mind, especially if you're an avid fan of the series: when will Horizon 3 be released? Now, there was the Lego Horizon game, but that is not enough to tide anybody over. I mean, the game lasts for about 5 minutes in total. It is crap. It's crap. And it doesn't really reveal the massive scope of the Horizon world. Then, of course, there were those rumors going around about a live service iteration of Horizon, but with multiple developers pivoting away from live service due to the massive failures, I think it's safe to say that that one is back in the ether and probably won't happen. They may incorporate some of it into Horizon 3, like maybe some online elements here and there, but I doubt we'll get a single live service game. Anyway, although the third installment in Guerrilla Games Saga has not yet been officially announced, it is widely accepted it will be one day, as Aloy's story is far from over after the events of Forbidden West. They left it on the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers. You know, when I saw that ending, I was like, ah. And then I heard there was a DLC, I was like, ah. Because the DLC didn't cover it either. You know, there were subtle little mentions and references that, like, it's kind of like when Game of Thrones first came out and they were talking about dragons, and then you get George R.R. Martin, like, people asking R.R. Martin about the dragons, and he's like, oh, don't worry, they're coming, the dragons are coming. And then it took like 5 books for the dragons to actually show up. It's the same thing here, you know. It's like, when are they coming? We want them to come. When are they coming? But yeah, not only that, but a recent rumor circulating online suggests that the next Horizon game could receive its final installment as early as 2027. Now, that's interesting as well, because it's also rumored that that will be the final year for the PlayStation 5 when Sony starts doing its marketing promotions for the PlayStation 6. So it would make sense that it releases as the final game for the PS5 and as a launch game for the PS6. Now, at this point, the PS5 is 5 years old, so it really does not surprise me. And again, take that little bit of information I just said there with a pinch of salt, because it's not confirmed. I'm not saying that that's happening. I'm not saying that 2027 is the final year for the PS5. It's just what's been circulating around. This alleged leak comes courtesy of a user known as TCMF, who took to social media to reveal that Horizon 3 was currently in development. Now, that's usually a given. You know, most game developers, when they finish a game and they know that there's potential for a sequel, they will immediately start on the sequel. Like Rockstar Games, for example, you know, of course it's taken them 13 years, but they always make plans for sequels after the fact. You know, like the Grand Theft Auto franchise is a prime example of that. Now, interestingly enough, it's said that the third game is aiming for a cross-generational launch. Now, could this mean that it comes for other gamers? It comes in a bundle? You know, for players on Steam, for players on Xbox, could it come in a bundle? Like, you get the first 2 games and Horizon 3? Or do you just get Horizon 3? Because if you just get Horizon 3 and then you start playing it on one of these other platforms, you'd be like, I don't follow this at all. What's this about? Because you haven't played the other 2. unless you've got a PlayStation, and unless you're one of those multiple console gamers. But yeah, although TCMF is just a fan account, it has had some hits when it comes to the video game rumours. But nevertheless, it is still worth taking the following information, as I mentioned, with a hefty pinch of salt, as this news has not yet been confirmed by Guerrilla Games or Sony. Now, according to the leak, Horizon 3 would of course feature Nemesis, a rogue AI who was first mentioned in Forbidden West as the main antagonist. Little bit of history on it, if you're not familiar with the games. Basically, when Earth was destroyed, a group of humans went out to another planet, and they survived and gained immortality and created a sophisticated AI. This AI then went rogue and decided it should wipe out all of humanity, and now it's coming back to Earth after 1,000 years. That's just spitballing on a recap there, just for the sake of those who've not seen it. But yeah, other than that, we still remain in the dark when it comes to the sequel. So what do we actually know about the third game? Well, Guerrilla has previously claimed that it is working on a mainline Horizon game, but this was not specifically confirmed to be the Forbidden West sequel. Additionally, the developers warned fans that the release is still, quote, far off. Now, far off for game developers can mean anything between 2 to 5 years. Not only that, but rumours courtesy of Bloomberg's Jason Schreier? Anyway, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Revealed that a multiplayer Horizon spin-off was in development, and it could be many more years until we see a single-player conclusion of Aloy's story. Now, I'm coming back to what I said earlier about that live service Horizon game. Now, if that truly was in development, then yes, the focus would have been on that. But as I've also mentioned, developers have been pivoting away from the live service stuff because they've all been flopping and failing. They've seen the success of Shite Night. Yes, I call Fortnite Shite Night. I will forever call it Shite Night. If you love Shite Night, then you're not a gamer, in my opinion. Sorry, but you're not. Anywho, developers at the time saw the success of Shite Night and thought, let's have some of that. That's making money. We want that. And it just hasn't worked. It's been flop after flop after flop. I mean, take Marvel's Avengers, for example. That had huge potential for a big league superhero game, and then they totally and utterly ruined it by making it live service. It doesn't work. I am very against live service games. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I think they are the bane of the gaming industry. I think they are destroying gaming, and I think they should all just vanish forever. But yeah, anyway, I think, because the focus was on that for a bit, and now they've pivoted away from it, I think it's a bad case of, now we've moved on to this, but we've only just started this, so we're going to take elements from that and put it into this, so it's going to take a little bit longer. So 2027, again, take it with a pinch of salt. It might be the year it gets announced, but it might also be the year it comes out, because it, again, falls back on that rumour of 2027 being the final year for the PS5, and that's when Sony will begin its marketing for the PS6. We don't know yet, but it could happen. It could happen. But yeah, it is hard to know what to believe, but gamers' fingers are crossed that Horizon 3 is released sometime in the near future, or at least confirmed to exist by Guerrilla itself. Because I, for one, I love games like this. I love apocalyptic, end-of-the-world games, because this game, it is set in the future, but there's no sort of, I want to say futuristic tech, but yeah, as you can see on the screen, I'm flying around on a mechanicalized bird. So that statement doesn't really ring true, does it? Well, it's basically what they are is that they're primitive tribes, but they're surrounded by all this leftover advanced technology and these crumbling cities from our civilization, and it just makes it so much more interesting to explore all of this and see something. Like right now I'm in the ruins of Las Vegas, and it is absolutely beautiful because there's more to it underground and it's perfectly preserved. It's this game, everything about it is so beautiful. I mean, when I first heard about it, I wasn't too interested. You know, in the first Horizon game, I was like, man, not my thing. And then it was free on PlayStation Plus, and I gave it a try, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. Why did I not get it when it first came out? And I've done that with quite a few games, to be fair. You know, I've dismissed them thinking I won't like it, and then I've played it when it's come free, and I've been like, why did I not get this? I hate myself for not playing this on day one. And then there's other games that I do buy on day one, and I'm like, I just want to get rid of this immediately. I want this out of my collection forever. But yeah, anyway, so let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think the sequel will be coming sooner rather than later? Do you think it is in development now that live service has been pivoted away? Or do you think that Guerrilla Games are just going to say, right, look, we're going to be straight with you, we're going to release a comic book, or we're going to release a Netflix series? Because there is actually a Horizon Netflix series coming. So who knows? Maybe they could make Horizon 3 into that instead of a game, and they're just like, yeah, look, we don't have the resources to make the game anymore, we don't have this, that, and this, we want to move on to other projects. So let me know if you think that's a possibility as well. So yeah, that is it for this video, so I want to thank you all for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Once again, you all know the routine. If you aren't new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe. It would just be a good deed of the day. It also adds the channel to the algorithm and helps me out, so yeah, please do that. So yeah, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.